Before you ask, yes, I know I look like crap, but I'm having one of those days where I'm just like, I don't give a shit about much. I did my errands, aka went to Costco. I fed the crows, who I'm now teaching to respond to a chime. Weird parts of my life you guys don't know about. And now I'm relaxing and want to finish this last chapter before I have to pack and leave again for another 6 days. And there's my nose already starting to itch. Why does my nose always have to itch? Because I get nervous when I'm on film. But yes, I'll be leaving again for 6 days, so we're just going to get through this last chapter. And if I'm feeling up to it tonight, maybe do some bonus stuff, because I won't be back for a little bit, and so I can have that to release over the week. If not, when I come back, we'll be starting Blood Drive. Corpse Body and Blood Drive, yes. Alright. Let's jump in. Doodle-doodle-doodle-doodle-doo. New chapter. Tooth. I have no clue, but I'm gonna guess maybe we'll go back to the teacher. I don't know. Why is it coming out of my speakers? Hold on, it should not be coming out of my speakers. It happens sometimes though. Hold on, let me put it back in my earbud disconnected. Do 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 do. I think I fixed it. I updated something and that changed how it looked, and then it was trying to connect to my phone and not the computer, even though a moment ago it was connected to my phone, and I mean my computer. I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna move on. Byakuden Senior High School Student Council Room, 4:30 p.m. Let's begin this. Oh dear. My. As long as everything's working. Yes, everything's working. Alright. Hey, Mr. President, don't forget about tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Please tell me I can kick you. Absolutely not. So what's happening tomorrow? Hey, no violence in the student council room. We've been over this. It's your own damn fault for forgetting. Ow, stop, please. If I've forgotten something important, I sincerely apologize, but just tell me what it is already. Use your words, not your feet. It's this room, spring cleaning. I mean, it's full of balls. Is this a storage shed or something? How long has it been since the sports festival? Oh yeah, that's right. You were asking to schedule a cleaning day. Ow! You completely put it out of your mind, didn't you? No, I swear, I penciled it in somewhere. Your recommendations are important to me and to the student council as... you're a person, not a corporation. Talk like one. Fine, I forgot, okay? It's not like I don't have enough on my plate as it is, though. Do you have any idea how much I'm expected to do? I'm sorry. Good enough for me, I forgive you. What's your problem anyway? Wait, what? Tough love from your trusted clerk. Sometimes you just have to admit your mistakes and move on, though the manly approach to presidency has its merits too. Mitsuki. Hey, just make sure you keep at it. Desertion is not an option. Don't think you can run away from your post if the going gets tough. You got that? Yeah, I got it. You just don't get it. Tomohiro, Minko is my bride, so hands off. Like hell, I'm not giving her up to the likes of you. Besides, you've got that Nana girl, right? Don't you dare two-time her. You're so clueless. It only really gets good once you've got at least 3 girls. Everybody knows that. Sounds like you guys are having fun. Is that a game? Oh, Yamamoto, you want in on this? It's a game where you use a stylist to massage and kiss girls, and you can go out with 3 at once. What? I'm glad you're enjoying your little romp, but keep it to 1 girl, you lowlifes. Ow! You two remember what tomorrow is, right? What's tomorrow? Oh boy! I had no idea any of this was going in the student council room that day. I had other things in my mind, specifically a certain boy. Ryukinen Senior High School, Class 2-4 after school. My name is Toko Kirasaki. I've been waffling for quite some time on whether or not to say anything, but finally I decided to bite the bullet and ask his best friend, Kurosaki. Hey, quick question. Does Yuya have a girlfriend? No, I'm pretty sure he's single. Why? Well, I kinda might have my sights set on him, I guess. Seriously, wow, that's great news. I'll definitely be rooting for you. Oh, but... Well, he's not a particularly sociable individual when you get right down to it. Going out with him might not be all that fun for you. But I hear that despite his obvious popularity with the ladies, he's never once so much as touched anyone. Isn't that kind of a bad sign, though? No, quite the contrary. It gives him a nice, clean image. Oh ho! This was Kensuke Kurasakai. who'd known Yuya Kizami, aka the boy I liked, pretty much all his life. I figured I'd come to him for all the information I needed in my conquest, since he was pretty much guaranteed to know Yuya's dating history. And so far, things seem to be going really well. I mean, not only did I confirm Yuya wasn't seeing anyone, but I got his best friend's blessing too. And confirmed that he really wasn't the showy, obnoxious cool guy type. That suited me just fine. Kurosaki. Hey. Kurosaki was understandably rather startled by the extraordinarily agitated female voice that suddenly rang out from behind his head. But that's Hellgirl Mitsuki for you. She was standing in the class doorway, arms folded across her chest, looking like some angry deity about to cast judgment down upon the world. And she had that death gleam in her eyes, the one that could fell the mightiest warrior before he even had a chance to draw his sword. Didn't I tell you today was spring cleaning in the student council room? And I told you I can't because I have club today. Come on, Fukuroi. Back me up here. I wouldn't go that route. It's easier just to give in. What? Yeah, this was definitely Hellgirl's work. All the complexion was gone from Fukuroi's face. He was a man with a demon on his back. Whip at the ready, full prepared to bring divine punishments upon all who opposed her. He was right. It was easier just to give in. This sounds like fun. Can I join you guys? Oh, by all means. The more the merrier. Mitsuki then grabbed the nape of Kurosaki's neck and began dragging him out of the door in a decidedly painful-looking manner. It was a teary-eyed chick caught in the talons of a bird of prey, struggling in vain as he was being carried off to meet his grisly end. You know, I'm not even in the student council. I just loved watching these boys interact with Hellgirl Mitsuki. I couldn't wait to see more. I didn't even care if I had to clean in order to do it. I was a volunteer after all, so I was pretty much off the hook here. I could follow them on my own pace, no dragging for me. Oh dear. As soon as we left the classroom, though, we ran into Yuya. I bet he killed her. I wouldn't be surprising. Or rather, I did, as in I literally ran into him. I wasn't watching where I was going and wound up slamming into him so hard I fell over. Immediately, he reached out his hand to help me up and asked if I was alright. Now that's a white knight if ever I've seen one. Oh, little do you know. What a fun evening this would be. I imagined it ending with me lying in bed, dreaming of Yuya's perfect face inching closer to mine. But instead... Yep. Are you okay, Toko? Yeah. It'll be alright. You'll feel better once you get it all out. Episode Shadows. Book Shadows. Episode Shadows. Book Shadows, Episode 7. Tooth. This isn't looking good for anyone. Was I right? I guess I feel a little better. That's good. Are you okay to head back and rejoin the others then? Yeah. And we begin again. Doors are locked. Ooh, body. Ooh, a body. Unfortunately, it's too far gone in different age or gender. There's a fully intact student ID name. Tomomi Morinaga. With the knob of the full blaster, there's no water coming out of the pipes. It hurts, it hurts. Rosuke, God no, I'll bet it hurts real bad. I've tied up your knee and thigh joints, that should help stop the bleeding. And we've got your leg right here, so don't worry about that. Oh dear, he lost his leg. Ugh. Toko. We were in an old-fashioned, rundown, and probably condemned school building. None of us knew how we got here, nor even where here was. I just remembered from the girls' room with Emi after losing my lunch where Yuya, Okawa, Katayama, and Shimada were waiting. The whole hallway was an absolute bloodbath after what had happened. Poor Katayama walked into some kind of booby trap, and half his right leg was lopped off. From the knee down, it looked excruciating. How is somebody supposed to handle a situation like this? How did this have to happen at all? It hurts. The fuck is wrong with this school? Why would there be traps set up like up here? Where the hell even are we? Feels like somebody's screwing with us. Keep quiet. Rosuke has been very badly injured. The hell's your problem? You steppin'? Stop it, please. This is what tagging along with Mitsuki and the others got me. I thought I was going to be a laugh riot, and at first it was great. We all went to the student council room where we met up with Katayama, Shimada, and Emi and started cleaning and goofing around. And then when we were all done, Emi suggested we all try out this new charm she discovered on the internet. She's nuts for that kind of stuff. She took out this simple white paper doll and we were all kind of fascinated. So we did as we were instructed and suddenly everything went dark. There was a violent shaking and then we were here, in this old schoolhouse, no explanation. We just need to get out of here. We need to work together and get out of this horrible place. Let's try to find an exit. What about Katayama? I'll carry him. Yuya. Yuya was so kind, you can always count on boys in times like these. So there was a potential problem with this course of action. Wait. What if there are more traps? If you're carrying someone piggyback, you won't be able to react quickly enough to avoid them. But I know, we have to. What I'm thinking is we find a way out, ensure the road between here and there is safe, then come back for Katayama. I'll agree to that. Yeah. Ryosuke, don't worry, we won't leave you behind. We won't, will we? Okawa was in a state of absolute panic. He just kept muttering to himself at Katayama's side. The two of them had always been extremely close. It's only natural he'd be worried, though his concern kind of bordered on his obsession. But, who's going to go? We could lose our own legs in the blink of an eye, just walking around in here. You're the one who said we should find an exit in the first place, so you go. Shimada practically spit his answer at her. I hate people like him. Sure, he had a pretty face. It's basically all he had, though. People like him pose as models in men's journals, but they're not good for much else. He got a lot of girls, too, but I'm not one of them. I could never get past his awful attitude. It's such a huge turnoff for me when guys act that way. Not that I don't admire speaking with confidence and force. I try to do it myself whenever I can. But there's a difference between speaking forcefully and speaking in a way that belittles others. Shimada was basically just cold and uncaring. Uncertain? Uncaring. I'll go. I'm the one who suggested separating, after all. Toko. I'll go too. Yuya. What a difference. Like night and day. Kind, thoughtful people like him don't make flippant remarks. They just man up and get stuff done. I was crushing on him harder than ever because of now, not only did I think he was both cool and hot, I also gained a ton more respect for him. Just you wait. There's no need for everyone to go. One more person should be plenty. Any takers? Dead silence. No volunteers, huh? Everybody just looked at one another, then looked away as if they were ashamed of themselves. What do I do? Ryosuke. You'll be lonely all here by yourself, won't you? He was frantically shifting his gaze from one to the other. I'd never seen him so on edge before. Finally, the silence was broken by a loud, shrill male voice. Definitely not whom I would have picked. God damn it, fine, I'll go. You stay here. Are you sure? It's okay. Kirasaki said she'd go, and she's a girl, so I said I'm going. You wait here, you good-for-nothing sack. You just get in the way anyway. Alright, I'll stay here with Ryosuke. Good luck. Come on, let's go. If we don't hurry, Katayama could be in real danger. Toko, be careful, okay? I will. Was I scared? You bet I was scared. But in situations like this, everybody has to work together. And as long as I had any willpower left in me, I wasn't about to give up. Plus, it didn't hurt that Yuya was with me, so I knew everything was going to turn out just fine. Oh god, no it won't. The word infirmary was written on the plate above the door. Somehow the room just felt like it would be deserted. I was oddly confident about that. Not sure why I felt that way, to be honest, but for good measures I shouted, "Is anybody in there?" We still hadn't found Mitsuki after all. I didn't hear her call back, though, so really we had no business in this room whatsoever. Wait, was that a key sticking out of the lock? Who would have locked the door but left the key? What would be the point? Whoa, what's up with that? The key's just sitting there. What are you doing? Hey, there could be a boogeyman in there or something, and then what would we do? I figure better to lock him in and keep him out of our hair. And what exactly do you plan to do with that key? I'm going to hang on to it, of course. Stop tossing it around, that's dangerous. Don't worry, I always catch whatever I throw. Hell, I can go even higher. Honestly, pain in the ass. Shimada was such a pain in the ass. I really couldn't stand this guy. Honestly, I'm not blaming you. God, your persistence. Look, you're very good at throwing and catching. God, okay, so just stop already. The ceiling of this place sure is high. Let's see if I can touch it. Oops. The hell did it go? Whatever, I don't give a shit. And now the infirmary was cut off from us as if we needed it. Brilliant. Yes. Brilliant. Ah, it's an exit. An honest-to-goodness exit. We can finally get out of here. I rushed over the door, hopeful yet afraid, knowing it might not open, but praying this horrid place would show us at least a little mercy. Gingerly, I raised my hand and pushed on it, and it swung open without even the slightest hesitation. It seemed almost too easy. It was unnaturally dark outside, though, and the rain was coming down so hard that peeking my head out for just a moment left my uniform completely soaked. Shimada pushed past me, throwing the door open even wider with his usual lack of regard for anyone and anything around him. My clothes went from soaked to drenched in a matter of seconds. If I were to actually walk out into it, I felt like I'd drown. What is this place? It's way too dark out here. Are we in a forest, maybe? It's really coming down. If we went out there in the rainstorm like this, we'd get soaked to the bone. I wouldn't mind seeing that look on you. Anyway, we know we can get outside safely now. Let's go back and get Katayama. Come on, Yuya? Despite our having found a way out, Yuya's demeanor hadn't changed a bit. He was standing back by the hall where he could watch over us all, while also keeping an eye out for anyone else who might happen by, the model of maturity. Shimada, on the other hand... You guys go back if you want, but I'm leaving. What? I'm not about to stick around in this fucked up place any longer than I have to. Screw the others, I'm out of here. You can't be serious. Hell yeah, I'm serious. Those assholes are the ones who chose to stay behind. They're just gonna die on one by one, and I'd say let them. Didn't think you were quite that callous, but far be it from me to stop you. Say, Kirasaki, you want to come with me? The tone of his voice said it all. He'd hit the ultimate low. After abandoning his friends to save his own hide, he was now basically propositioning me. I really don't want to see you die. You've been real precious to me for quite some time, you know. With an obvious rehearsed and truly sickening pickup line. He really was the slimeball to end all slimeballs. Unbelievable. What the hell is wrong with you? Get your eyes off me, you jackass. I couldn't believe he had the nerve to pull something like this. Felt like that may have been the first time I've ever truly yelled at someone. I was absolutely livid. My eyesight is not good today. What? And he wasn't even done. No, he still had plenty of salt left to throw in the wound. Oh, shut the hell up, you ugly bitch. Don't go getting the wrong idea. I was just trying to be nice and give you a ticket out of this hellhole, but if you don't want it, that's your loss. You need to die already. This guy's a lost cause, you. Let's go. My head was swimming. I was scared, I was angry, I was sad. Every negative emotion brought to the forefront, every positive emotion pushed away. I didn't look back. I just turned away from Shimada, walked over to Yu's side, and continued past him into the hallway. Yu had been watching all of this unfold from the other side of the room, and for a moment he just stood there, staring blankly at Shimada. The hell are you looking at? Get out of my sight, you spacey bastard. Shimada then drew a large knife from his breast pocket. Its tip struggled to glisten in the dull light of the room, but it did ultimately succeed. He began waving around like a dumbass, probably thinking it made him look more menacing. Check it out, just bought this baby yesterday. Not bad, eh? But I could put it to good use in a lot of ways. You're an amusing fellow. Does that asshole really have 10 girlfriends? How is that even possible? And yet I'm precious to him. Somehow. What a crock. How low of an opinion must he have of women in general to pull crap like that? There's just no excuse. I was indignant. I was fuming. I just kept cursing and mumbling as I fast walked back to the 3rd floor to meet up with the others. And all the while, Yuya was keeping pace with me, saying nothing at all. Always the model of maturity, always even-tempered, he really was like a rock. Or maybe he found my muttering annoying, and he was just keeping quiet so I'd do the same. I didn't like that possibility one bit, so I mentally slapped myself on the cheek, forcing positivity into my voice and tried to engage him in cheery banter. You're a far better man than he is, Yuya. You've never said or done anything to hurt a lady, right? I mean, I know you've got a lot of women falling for you, but I've never once heard a single bad rumor about you from any of them. It's kind of amazing. I looked him square in the eyes, as if asking him, isn't that right? And for a moment his eyes did meet mine, but then they went right back to the hall. Was he not used to receiving compliments from women? That seemed hard to believe. I'm not sure what you mean. But a cute, innocent response. Oh, darling, he's gonna murder you. And I'm okay with it, to be fair. I'm weird. As much as I hate him, he's at least unique. I must have come across as bipolar to him or something. One second I'd try to lighten the mood with small talk or compliments, and then I'd start to feel scared of this school again, or angry at Shimada, or sad for Katayama. My mind just couldn't make up its mind what to feel. Toko, Emi, is anyone up there? Mitsuki. That was Mitsuki, wasn't it? It was coming from downstairs. Mitsuki's voice echoed up from below, but our friends were waiting for us above. For a moment I wasn't sure which direction to go, but only for a moment. The fact is, our friends were very, very close. So close that it would be foolish not to tell them what was going on before chasing after Mitsuki. Come on, we need to check in with Emi and the others, then follow that voice downstairs. Yuya just nodded and began running up the stairs, and I was right behind him. Sorry, it took so long. We found an exit. Come on, we have to get moving. I was out of breath, staring down at the ground and talking to what I assumed would be 3 very attentive friends. But then I looked up, and they were all there, but there was no immediacy, no urgency in anyone's face. Emi and Okawa weren't even looking at me, nor was Yuya, but at Katayama. They were fixed on his face, and each bore a sad, hopeless, empty expression. And they certainly weren't about to get moving. There was a general heaviness in the air, something very wrong. I gently reached out my hand and touched Emi's shoulder. What's going on? Katayama's getting weaker. He's not going to make it. Kosuke, why won't you talk to me? Say something, please. Emi's eyes were filled with tears. Okawa, too, was cradling Katayama's head and looked like he'd been crying this whole time. His eyes were bright red and his nose was running. Yuya still said nothing, just walked over to Katayama's side, bent down, and began examining his wound. Yuya? We need to hurry. The four of us silently but unanimously agreed that our best course of action was to pick up Katayama and bring him out through the exit we discovered. And we had to be very, very quick about it, or he really would die. I could tell just by looking at him that his time was almost up. Kizami, can you carry him? Yeah, I could use your help getting him up on my back, though. Kosuke, hang in there, we'll save you. All this was going on, I had that nagging feeling like I was forgetting something. Of course, Mitsuki. We had to go find her, we couldn't just leave her behind after all. Yuya, do you mind if I run downstairs and look for Mitsuki? If she wanders too far, she might... He didn't even have to say anything this time. His eyes told me the whole story. Got it. I know I can trust you with this task, they said. And that was enough for me. I shot off down the hall like a bullet. I was determined to find Mitsuki and rejoin everyone en route. I hurried down to the 2nd floor. But Mitsuki's voice was coming from even farther down. I'd have to keep going to the 1st floor, ahead of the others. I like to look around, though. Our letter scratched in the corner of the blackboard, smiling with fingernails. Hello, Justin. Do not trust them, they will betray you. The one who volunteered to go will betray you most severely. Yes, Kizami's. We're playing a girl who likes Kizami. We have titles of good in the world. And after they came to the school, one of their friends lost his leg in a booby trap. The words "kill before you're killed" are scribbled all over the school flyer. And so she's trying to find Mitsuki now as the other people go for the exit. Which is actually opened to the forest of rain. Some other bitch. Based on the appearance of the dress, she seems to have been female. Megumi Onda. Closed. Oh, peek. A bunch of dishes, they must have been propped against the door. There are wet, bloody prints all over them. It's a little disturbing. How do feel to be... How does it feel to be stabbed? Writing freshly erased, making it hard to interpret what it might have said. Oh no, I know just fine what it said here. Yeah, it's all just false hope. No, if I've got this place mapped out right in my head, I'll just be getting further and further from where we'd heard her voice. That's why I should go back. Okay. Oh, hello. Leona Omura. No, okay. Don't want to do this one either. Is that a body? It's a body. Toru Takahashi. I kept running in circles like this. I'd never find her. I was in a state of panic, and I was allowing it to steer my path. Frustrated with the situation, with myself for choosing to give up and head back empty-handed, I forced myself to stop and turn. I was going to do what I should have done in the first place, call out Mitsuki's name with everything I had in me and hope she responded. Mitsuki! Mitsuki, where are you? We're all here. No answer. Just the cold, lonely sounds of rain and wind bearing down on this old, dilapidated building. This may have been a fairly large school, but sound traveled well in here. If she was anywhere in this hallway, I'm sure she would have heard me. And if she were here just only minutes ago, she definitely should have been around now. Could something have happened to her? Mitsuki. One way or another, we're going to make it out of the school, all of us together. No, you're not. Yeah, what? Is that a ghost? We're beginning this search game. Didn't find that key. Suzuki. Unless I'm supposed to look at the little ghost boy, but I doubt it. I know what happens when we click them, I die, so I don't want to do it. If I can't figure out another option, I'll have to do it. Hello. Student ID tag. No, but is that an alias, a fake ID? The name of the card seems highly suspicious. Onda 4th Street. Alright then. I'm not sure if the game wants you to find all the bodies before you can proceed. I don't really know, but it definitely feels like that. Can't figure out what to do next. We'll go back and we'll look at the little boy. And probably die. Huh? No. No. Iris, no. It's just Mindy. Or Ron, I don't know who. No, it's just Iris. No, it's just Ron. He's home. Okay, well I can't find anything, so I'm going to assume that nothing happens when we go on the exit. And wait. Oh, there we go. What the hell was that? What just appeared in front of me? Ghost. From the looks of it, you're another victim dragged here against your will, no? Well, I'll tell you now, there's no escape from this school. There's nothing to be gained here but despair, though if you've got an iron will, you might be able to survive a little while, at least. Here, you should have this. It'll help keep away the wandering spirits at bay, though it only works once. So take it, get out of there, and fight like hell. Stay alive as long as you possibly can. The spirit vanished, but lying at the floor below where it had been was a gemstone. Specifically a violet-colored gemstone, probably an amethyst. So I can use this to keep the wandering spirits at bay one time, huh? Guess he meant the full-body ones, or it would have kept him at bay too. Either way, with this gem, I felt like I could actually get back to my friends safely. I was as hopeful as one could expect, all things considered. Of course, he said there was no escape from here, but if it was prerogative to believe what I wanted to believe and ignore what I wanted to ignore. Alright. Now we can get past Ghost Boy. It appears to be the ghost of a young boy. I held his innocence in front of me and approached the spirit. And incredibly, it actually worked. Both the ghost and the gem faded in the spirit. The stairwell was now free to be traversed. Watch that be the wrong thing. Emmy, are you okay? There was like a ghost at the bottom of the stairs. Where's everyone else? Come on, we have to get Katayama situated and get out of here. Emmy's face was absolutely wrecked with tears, and she was shaking her head violently. She wanted to tell me something, but the words weren't coming. I had a really bad feeling about this. I ran past her to the bathrooms to where Katayama was being lifted into Yui's shoulders when I left. He's probably dead. Why? Katayama was back on the floor, right where we had set him down when this whole ordeal began. Why wasn't he on Yuya's shoulders? What was going on? I had an inkling, but I didn't want to believe it, so I pushed it out of my mind. Yuya, what are you all still doing here? We need to get Katayama ready to go. He didn't make it. What? Right after he left, he let out a huge scream, and then he just went limp. No. I didn't know what else to say. A person had just died, and not some stranger, but a person I knew, a friend. It was the strangest feeling. I kept looking at him and thinking, is he really dead? Is this really what a person looks like when he dies? Seeing him like that drained every last bit of energy I had in me. Felt my knees thoroughly defeated. Okawa says he isn't moving it from Katayama's side. So what are we supposed to do now? Emi and I couldn't stay near the body. We'd gone down to the second floor where we picked a corner and just stood there trying to recompose ourselves. Yuya elected to stay with Okawa on the third floor, I guess, to try and break him from his shock and help put some distance between him and Katayama. Oh yeah, that's what he's gonna do. None of this felt real, or maybe I just didn't want it to be real. It was a nightmare, it had to be. I'd just sit up in my bed and it would be all over. Why did this have to happen? I'm not waking up. I don't get it. I'm not waking up. I keep trying to tell myself this is all just a dream, but... Toko. My energy was waning again. I sank to the ground, landing on my knees. Emi followed my lead and put an arm around me for comfort. My friend had just died. He just died. God, why? Emi and I looked at each other. We both heard them, footsteps coming down the hall. It was too dark to make out who it was, but the gait was steadily male. The two of us slowly and quietly rose to our feet, hid around the corner, and peeked out, both terrified and curious as to whom or what we might see. There at the end of the hall, the figure finally came into view. It was a tallish man, unsteadily teetering as slowly towards us. It was Shimada, drenched from head to toe. And we shot forward, intending to run toward him, but I grabbed her arm and held her back without even thinking about it. She turned and looked at me with a puzzled expression. I can't handle him. What? Don't tell me he did something to you. No. Thank goodness. At times like these especially, we really need to keep each other in the loop about everything that happens. She looked at me again as she said this, staring right into my eyes in an almost disciplinary manner. It was a perfect guilt gaze. I couldn't help but succumb to it, feeling bad for not having filled her in about the Shimada incident. Yeah. Shimada continued his slow, wet walk down the hall. Then, all of a sudden, for no discernible reason, he simply fell forward, landing hard on his knees. Something was wrong with him, and while I loathed the man, I didn't want to see him suffer. Emma and I were both poised to rush to his aid, when other figures randomly began appearing all around him. Figures of children, blue and ethereal, shimmering with their own light. What? What are they? We could barely even see Shimada from our vantage point anymore, as his body was obscured almost completely by the backs of these ghost children. He wasn't moving, though, so it didn't seem like they were doing anything to him. But then he wasn't moving at all, which seemed highly suspicious. It occurred to me that maybe we should try to save him. I inched forward. He was still in exactly the same position he had been when he had fallen to his knees. He literally hadn't moved at all. Was he unconscious? Em and I looked at one another and nodded. It was a silent signal to move forward and do whatever we could to help. Well, maybe I should have brought the gem to this one. The children vanished as we approached, revealing a horrific sight. Shimada's stomach had been flayed wide open. He was dead. The knife he'd flaunted earlier was jutting from the wound. It was an almost ceremonial death, like that of a samurai who'd thrown himself onto his sword. No. What were those children? How should I know? They might still be nearby. Kasami, it's horrible. Shimada is... Yuya, who presumably rushed down to see what was wrong, calmly walked over to Shimada's body. He was checking for signs of respiration or pulse. He turned back to face his again a moment later, and his facial expression said it all. Shimada really was dead. I was beginning to lose it. I just couldn't take any more of this. My friends and acquaintances were dying one by one. I guess I should say had died, but it didn't seem like it. It didn't seem like it was over, not by a long shot. This is bad. There's something in here with us. Something is trying to kill us. Hell, it was doing more than trying. It had already succeeded twice over. I was scared. I was paranoid. I was shaking and crying and screaming inside. I was deathly afraid that something else would show up, and then it did. The little girl in a red dress standing between us and the third-floor staircase. I couldn't make out the expression on her face through her bangs, but I could literally feel the hatred in her eyes as she stared into our souls. Then she turned around and slid up the staircase into the third-floor hallway. What? Emmy turned the other way, so she hadn't seen the girl at all. She eventually followed our gaze, but by the time the girl was gone, she looked confused. That particular apparition looked a lot different from the other ghosts I'd seen, but there was still no doubt in my mind she was definitely a ghost. What did we do about Okawa? We have to go get him. We have to get out of school now. I'll calm down. Wait. I'll come with. It could be dangerous. You wait here. Dangerous? Well, that is the direction the girl in the red dress went, and I guess Yuya didn't want me to be put in harm's way. I nodded and watched his back recede into the darkness as he chased after Emmy. Yeah, we don't trust anything he does. Pull yourself together, Toko. You know what they say, no weapon can pierce a calm heart. So what's the most important thing right now? Yeah. No! Huh? What was going on? Why is Emmy screaming? I could hear her voices now. Emmy and Okawa were having a heated argument. It's not possible. We have to leave him and run. We'll get caught if we don't. No, we can't just leave him behind. We have to. We have to take him to the hospital. But he's dead. No, he's not. He's dead. He's not. He can't be. Leave him and run. We'll get caught. The ghost girl must have been pursuing them. This is bad. I have to go help them. What the? Murderer! Katayama's body was sprawled unceremoniously on the landing halfway up to the third floor, and along with Okawa. At the top of the stairs stood Emmy, and in front of her Yuya, with an imposing scowl on his face. I didn't understand any of this. What had just happened? Emmy let out another scream and came running toward me down the stairs. Okawa then seemed as if he'd fallen and broken his arm. He was lopsidedly crawling toward me. It was almost as if he was trying to distance himself from Yuya. Murderer! We ran to the base of the stairs to meet up with Emmy. I need some sort of context here. Emmy, what happened? What's going on? Run, you'll be killed. Kisame kicked him down the stairs, out of the blue. What? I glanced up at Yuya, but his face was shrouded in darkness. I couldn't make out any expression at all. Okawa seemed to have reached his breaking point. He shot to his feet and took off behind me toward the second floor as fast as he could. Yuya kicked Okawa down the stairs. Why? Yuya, it's not true, is it? Slowly he walked down the stairs, down to the landing. He was neither concerned nor scornful. His face was a blank slate. As soon as he reached my level, he bent down and began fiddling with Katayama's body, raising the arms, then letting them drop, wiping blood from the ears and nose and looking at it as if studying a specimen under a microscope. Oh dear. What the hell? He was enjoying this. I finally got to see an emotion written clearly on his face, and it was elation. How was this not some crazy dream? Yuya! Tears began spilling from my eyes like water. I was shocked, confused, and I don't even know what else. Toko, get away from him. God, no. I'll let him not take, but we all knew that was coming. And you can't even really blame the ghost. It's clear through his memories that he's just a little psychopath. And when I found myself standing in front of the door to the school infirmary, Shimada took the key and lost it, so this room is no good. If we hide in a place like this, we'd be sitting ducks anyway. We need to go farther down to the first floor. The poor girl was frantic. I can't say I blame her, but well, something about this whole situation just didn't feel right to me. Emmy, I'm still not sure we need to run. Huh? What? I just don't believe Yuya, kind, sweet Yuya, would be capable of something like that. But he really did kick him down the stairs. It happened. He kicked Okawa. How can that possibly be true? Fine, do what you want then. I don't care anymore. With that, Emmy pushed me out of the way and ran past me toward the stairwell leading to the first floor. Emmy! I have nothing more to say to you. You wouldn't believe me anyway, since you're so convinced I'm lying. And off she went. I was now separated from every one of my friends, but was I really in danger? I mean, I was, but from Yuya? That just didn't seem right. Or more likely, I didn't want it to be. I wanted to believe that this was all a misunderstanding. My legs were shaking and my head was swimming. I just stood there, unsure where I should go or what I should do. And then there he was, right behind me. And in his hand was Shimada's huge knife, the one that was the last seen jutting from Shimada's stomach. It was still dripping with blood, which he had in the anime. This definitely made matters more complicated. How could I doubt Yuya's guilt when he was holding something like that? Why did he even have it? How could he possibly bring himself to pull a knife from his friend's lifeless corpse? But I wasn't going to run. I turned around and braced myself. I opened my mouth, intent on discussing this rationally. If I ran away now, I felt like it would all be over. There would be nothing left to save, no one left to trust. But what could I possibly say to him? Are you alright? My body was still visibly shuddering, and I doubted I'd have much of a voice if I tried talking. But I just wanted this all horrible mistake to be I wanted us to be a horrible mistake so badly. I knew I had to say something. I knew I had to get through to him. Maybe he was just freaking out in his own way. This whole experience had been taxing for all of us, and Yuya's only human. He must have been terrified. And maybe I could help him get through it, get him to talk about what's bothering him and feel a little better. It was worth a shot, at least. Yuya, are you alright? Hirosaki, do you know where Urabe and Okawa are? Why? No answer. He just started muttering to himself and slowly walked right past me as if it weren't even there. Yuya, what are you doing? What do you have in your hands? I thought I could put it to good use in a lot of ways. Stop this. Get rid of that thing. No, I couldn't let this go on. I grabbed him by the arm and just clung to him, putting my full weight on his body to keep him from going any farther down the hallway. He was at a crossroads, about to walk down a path of no return, and I wasn't going to lose the kind, considerate Yuya I'd fallen for. Oh, good lord, bitch, you don't even know. Unfortunately, the only tools I had at my disposal from stopping him were my feelings, and those just weren't going to be enough. I was so startled that it took me a moment before I even figured out what happened. It's the same in here, you know. That was the first time in my entire life that I'd ever been punched in the head, and he put everything he had into it. Getting killed by this school. I couldn't focus. My brain was still rattling inside my skull from the impact. Or getting killed by me. The world was spinning. I looked up at him with spasmodic, twitchy, tear-filled eyes. There was no sign of remorse or compassion whatsoever. He looked like a feudal warrior clutching his sword and staring down at his enemy. The area all around my eyes was throbbing. It hurt so badly, and I felt so swollen and sore I couldn't even imagine what I must have looked like. And he wasn't done with me. He got in closer and closer, grinning unnaturally as he raised his fist for a second strike. Ooh. Let's test this out on you, shall we? You can be the first. Oh, she ran. I was running on pure instinct and adrenaline at this point. I shot to my feet and just forced them to carry me to safety somewhere, anywhere. He was going to kill me. He was really going to kill me. God. I felt something rattling around uncomfortably inside my mouth, so I spit spit it out into my hand. It was white. A single white tooth with blood-red highlights at its root. The maniac had actually knocked out one of my teeth. God, my tooth! He was there, just behind me. I panicked, tripping over my own feet and stumbling to the ground on the landing before the first and second floor. Gah. I'd fallen on my backside, dropping my tooth on the ground next to me. I began slinking away from the encroaching figure of Yuya Kizami. Save me, somebody, anybody, please. God, please. No. I was scooting backwards across the floor, too stiff, sore, and scared to stand. But then my hand brushed across something small and metallic, a key. It's the infirmary key that Shimada lost. Even with my hand right over it, I was shaking so badly that I could barely work my fingers to get the grip. It was the most frustrating feeling in the world, and for a few seconds that felt like hours, I just kept trying in vain to pick up the damn key. Finally, I slipped my finger through the ring. I had it. This was my one and only chance. Scrambling to my feet, I somehow slipped past Yuya and ran back to the second floor, as fast as I could force my shaky legs to carry me. I had the key. I could lock myself in. I could hide in the infirmary. Don't let crazy stick its dick in you. Isn't that a saying too? Is the other way to say that? Kizami didn't pursue, not right away. He just stood there staring at the tooth that I dropped on the ground, staring intently as if trying to make out what he was seeing. Her tooth? Oh dear. Oh God. Ooh, nuts. The boy's nuts. There didn't seem to be any way to lock the door from the inside. I needed to find a hiding place before Yuya showed up. The corner of the room, under the bed, maybe? I was scanning every inch of the room as quickly as possible, sizing up my surroundings. My eyes stopped on one of the medicine shelves. Scissors. There were scissors in there. It felt like such a revelation, like the answer I was looking for. But what was I going to do with scissors? Was I going to fight? Fight who? Yuya? I wouldn't stand a chance. I decided to leave them there. I stepped back and crouched down behind the partitioning screen that was set up in the middle of the room. Oh, he was born that way. There's a ghost girl in the red dress coming. Murabe had run back to the bathrooms on the third floor to warn Okawa about the imminent threat that it was approaching. Unsurprisingly, he was still crouched on the ground, cradling Katayama's lifeless head in his arms. And he was still stubbornly insisting that if he were to leave that spot, he'd have to carry Katayama with him. That's not possible. We have to leave him and run. We'll get caught if we don't. No, we can't just leave him behind. We have to. We have to take him to the hospital. But he's dead. No, he's not. He's dead. He's not. He can't be. What a stubborn, foolish man. I had enough. I decided I'd rip Katayama's body from Okawa's arms and kick it down the stairs. It made one hell of a thud when it hit the landing. But he was already dead, so what did it matter? As long as it helped get Okawa moving, I didn't care. See, look, he's dead, so get off your ass. Get your ass off of that floor and run. Open your eyes, Katayama. Open your eyes. Katayama is dead. We have to get out of here now. Kizami. Murabe was looking at me, then at Katayama's body, then back at me, as if she just couldn't make up her mind which was more interesting. But why was she looking at me? Did I have something on my face? Okawa, on the other hand, was focusing squarely on Katayama. He was trembling all over, but I thought he finally understood. Then he turned toward me. Murderer! He yelled like a madman and ran down the stairs toward his friend's body. He wasn't exactly in his right mind, however, so those last few steps didn't quite go as planned. He tripped and fell quite hard next to Katayama. I mean, what happened? What's going on? Who, me? I wasn't the one who killed Katayama. I see. In here, getting killed by the school and getting killed by me are one and the same. We're all going to die here either way, after all. Oh, that was easy. That was quick. The end? Oh wait, something's up. No, yep, the end? Well, I mean, Kizami's not wrong. Someone's gonna die no matter what, basically, unless you're those few lucky ones who escaped. Or fewer lucky ones if you actually count the anime and the live action. And it's also the comic. And he ate the tooth. He ate the tooth. Blech. Of all the crazy shit he's done, eating the tooth probably is up there. It's up there on that list of the craziest of the things he's done. In the anime, he gets caught and then he gets flayed halfway down, and he becomes like the medicine lab skeleton that's, you know, half muscle and half skin. Yeah. Then he kills Yuka. Spoilers. Yeah. But Yuka died in this, so not too far off, just different. Now I'm wondering about the bonuses. I want to take a look at them. I'm not going to play them right now. I might play them a little later today. Once I'm in my pajamas and I'm relaxing. Because I do need to pack my stuff and I don't want to get too lost in the games. I know music is playing. I can't hear it. I don't know if you guys can hear it. But either way, it's okay if you can't, because I'm probably going to get copyrighted. Excuse me. Clear. All bonus. Let's see if we got all bonuses unlocked. I didn't, but... EPP. Listen to and create conversations using any of the games. Yeah, I'm good. See. I guess maybe it's just don't have that one. Missing those two. Those are probably for endings that I didn't get. Wonder what that one is. Probably if I pick the wrong thing. Alright. Chris. I don't care about this. What are these? No, I don't care. Not that important. Alright, well I guess that's the game. Yeah, I thought the last one would be longer, but it actually was under an hour. Alright, well, I guess I'll see you guys in a week with Blood Drive. Yeah. See ya.